I am Dr. Dhanalakshmi, Professor, School of History and Tourism Studies. Now I am going to highlight about the ecotourism and its principles and various types of ecotourism. Actually, ecotourism was originally just an idea, not a discipline. Many business and government promoted it, but an understanding of its most basic principles. The increasing criticism on the negative impacts of tourism began in the 1980s. The ecotourism is about responsible travel to natural areas that promote conservation, bring harmony among communities, and sustain well-being of local people. People who implement and participate in ecotourism activities should adopt the following ecotourism principles. That is, the principles applied to ecotourism might differ from one country to another country, but will mostly follow the same concept only. In general, the ecotourism principles include several fundamental issues, that is, waste management, energy minimization, site disturbance, visual, sound, and air impacts, impacts and stress on wildlife, the social impact on visitors and local populations, and how your interpretation can affect their interactions and understanding of natural environment and each other. There has quite justifiably a need to identify an alternative approach to tourism development that lessens the negative consequences of the mass tourism approach. Thus, the alternative tourism perspective has become a popular paradigm. This alternative approach has been described as a competing paradigm to mass tourism, but it can also be viewed as a complementary approach to tourism. But it can also be viewed as a complementary approach to tourism. That is, it is not possible to have an alternative tourism without something for it to be alternative to. Thus, alternative tourism is a natural outcome of the maturing understanding of tourism development and its strengths and weaknesses. Fennell states that alternative tourism is a generic term that encompasses a whole range of tourism strategies, that is, appropriate, eco, soft, responsible, people to people, controlled, small scale, cottage, and green tourism, all of which purpose to offer a more beginning the alternative to the conventional mass tourism in certain types of destinations. However, Weaver quite rightly points out that there are also many criticism on the alternative tourism. It is clear that just because of alternative tourism has developed as a reaction to the negative consequences of mass tourism, it is not necessarily less harmful or better, that is alternative. It does not, however, provide a useful means conceptualize the relationship between the differing views of tourism. The term ecotourism is often used to describe any type of travel which focuses on natural environments or settings. Additionally, ecotourism adds on social responsibilities to make travel to natural areas purposeful and attempts to increase the understanding of cultural and natural history of the environment. The local people benefit economically from the conservation, and the overall goal is to preserve the natural environment despite the human pressures of tourism. The main advantages of ecotourism are environmental preservation and global awareness. Tourist demands for the opportunities to interact with the nature is on the increases. This general interest in nature and experiences based upon natural attractions is reflected in not alone the demand, but an increase in the value being placed on relatively undisturbed natural environments, and in particular wild animals tourism of this type of tourism. Tourism of this type has been commended by many as a savior for the threatened wildlife populations, and thus is widely viewed as ecotourism. More we can say about the ecotourism, that is, deliver memorable interpretative experiences to visitors that help raise sensitivity to host countries, political level, environmental level, and social climates, and design the construct and operate low impact of facilities, recognize the rights and spiritual beliefs of the indigenous people in our community, and work in partnership with them to create the environment. Now we can see more and more. We can say that mass tourism may be considered into conventional level, standard level, and large scale level. In the many of the scientific tourism refers that adventure, agricultural level, and the scientific level. So the mass tourism refers that this is the most traditional form of tourism development. It is short term, has free market principles, dominates the maximization of income. The development of the tourism industry was originally seen as a desirable and relatively clean industry for nation and the regions to pursue. Now we can discuss about the pro-poor tourism. This type of tourism is set up in developing all the countries as a means to improve the local economy for the local people. It enhances the linkages between the tourism businessmen and poor people so that the poverty is reduced and more people are able to participate more effectively in the tourism development. The aims of pro-poor ranges from increasing local employment to involving the local people in the decision-making process. Any type of company can be involved in activities such as a small, large, or as a tour operator. The most important factor is not the type of company or the type of tourism, but that poor people receive an increase in the net benefit from tourism. Whichever types of ecotourism one decides to pursue, it is important to remember the main purpose behind this type of natural traveling. Whichever adventure one decides to go on, it is necessary to plan the trip so that the impact on the environment is minimal. Ecotouring should not pollute or contaminate the place of visit. The ecotourist should keep an open mind during the travel so as to get to know the coast and develop an appreciation for the new region and culture that is being experienced. Also, one should spread the advantages of ecotourism by sharing the positive ecotourism stories with the friends and family members. So these are the types of various types of ecotourism, and we have seen the principles of ecotourism. Thank you.